Welcome to Creative Mizat. Meet Mr. John Doe. This is his English game profile. Basic, right? But what if? But what if he can transform his English basic game to his A game? Impossible? Of course it's possible. You can too. Upskill your English game with a comprehensive approach.
No.
This is not an ad for any English course, but a sincere effort from a mother to her child trying to improve his English game. So let's get straight to it. After researching a lot, I have designed a roadmap with 4 main stops. First is framework. Structured approach or set of guidelines used to understand the English language, in which the 4 main pillars of English language, that is listening, speaking, writing, reading, will be discussed in detail. Second is online resources. We will see what digital material can be used specifically to improve which of the above mentioned skills. Third comes the offline resources, like visiting a library membership, books, friends, and family. Fourth, main point, practice and feedback. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Easier said than done. This is the crucial point which determines the success of your journey. So let's begin. You all know what's an iceberg. But do you know what's an iceberg phenomenon? Well, the tip of an iceberg is often just the tip of a larger hidden system of underlying causes and factors. How does it apply here? Well, the visible tip of an iceberg represents the core concepts of a language, and the submerged part represents the deeper underlying practicing skills of the person. While the tip is a comprehensive approach encompassing all the 4 skills, that is listening, speaking, reading, and writing, while also building the vocabulary and grammar, the humongous submerged part represents the consistent practice and immersion of the person. You can improve your English skills only through consistent practice and complete immersion. So let's see them in detail. Framework is the complex part of this journey. So first let's see second, third, fourth, and then we will circle back to the first point, framework. For online resources, we will see in detail the British Council Learn English website, their online membership, and other details accompanied by their Libby software. So what resources to use for which skill will be discussed in detail. For example, Adobe Read Aloud feature can be used to practice pronunciation and intonations. Coming to the point 3, offline resources. We will see local libraries here in Chennai. I have taken British Council Library membership for this year, and I will take you to my trip there. Also show you the books available, the process of borrowing and returning the books. Then of course, friends and family. How can you ask for their assistance in your daily practice sessions? We will see all these things in detail. So the last part is practice and feedback. As explained previously, this is the submerged part of the iceberg, the most crucial point. So we will see how can we make use of all the resources that has been explained previously to practice and get feedback without being shy, not being afraid to make mistakes. How can we do this? We will see this in detail in the last part. Circling back to the first point, the framework is divided into 4. Master the 4 skills, build vocabulary and grammar knowledge, immerse yourself in the language, seek feedback and don't be afraid to make mistakes. This last sub part, which is seek feedback and don't be afraid to make mistakes, will be repeated throughout because that is the submerged part of the iceberg. It's very difficult. You can read, you can do all the basic learning things, but actually speaking to someone, actually writing about something is the difficult part. We have to practice it without being afraid. So this will be repeated many times. Let's go through the first step, which will be discussed in detail in this video, the framework. Let me lay out all the points so you get the complete picture. Of the four main pillars of English language, first let's see listening. Engage in active listening. Before getting into the points, I would like to remind you that this is a practice session, okay? You are doing it with your practicing buddy. Might be an online tutor, your friends, your relatives, whoever it might be, you are doing it with your practicing buddy, okay? Initially, you might need to take some extra efforts, which you might feel very shy or awkward sometimes. So understand that once you start practicing this with your practicing buddy, it comes naturally to you. Your mind will accustom to this and then it will do the same thing without any extra effort. Keeping that in your mind, let's get on to the first point. Focus your attention. Pay close attention to the speaker and try to understand meaning even if you don't understand every word. Okay? This you might feel that really awkward. Again, I'm bringing you to the point that you're practicing with your practicing buddy, okay? Imagine you're speaking in the public and then you zero in on the speaker. They might feel even intimidating, okay? When you zero in on the person. But because you're doing it with your practicing buddy, this is okay. So by paying close attention, you are observing their speaking skills, their speed, intonation, the speech rate, how the voice is going up, down. So this you will understand better when you focus your attention. Coming to the second point, taking notes. Writing down key points and ideas help you stay engaged and retain information. This again will be very odd if you're doing it in public, but you have to practice it initially with your practicing buddy, okay? When you have a conversation, I will explain you with example from my own life, okay? When I'm having a solid conversation with my father, okay? My father is someone who likes to communicate, jot down all his, to conversate all the points and then he will finally come to a conclusion. I might have difference of opinion or something which I wanted to add, but what I do is I'll just let him finish. I don't want to interrupt, so let him finish. Okay, what happens is that finally when he comes to a conclusion, I will just think, okay, whatever, forget it. But that is not how conversation happens. It's a two-way road. Okay, the speaker speaks something, the listener will listen, and then they will communicate back. So that to and fro should happen. So most of the time what happens is that we forget our points because we don't want to interrupt. So taking notes will really help. You don't have to write a full sentence. You just take one word or one key point which will ignite what you wanted to say. So this is very important. Very difficult to do when you're having a conversation, but once you practice, it comes naturally. Third point, ask clarifying questions. Don't hesitate to ask for clarification if you're unsure of something. This accompany the second point with taking notes. Okay, if you don't understand something, you can jot it down and ask. So asking doubts, most of the time what I felt was it is shameful that I did not understand, but that is not how it is. If you have a doubt, there is nothing wrong in asking or saying that you didn't understand. Can you please explain? Okay. The last point is summarize. Trying to summarize what you have heard in your own words to check your understanding. What do you mean? What I mean is, see, we are a different person and the person who's speaking is a different person, okay? So we have experience of our own and that person has experiences of their own. So when they say something, when they have a conversation, it will be through their experiences and emotions and stuff. Generally, we doesn't have to be in the same state of emotion to understand what he is going through because we're different. So by summarizing it, okay, by summarizing in your own words, what you're doing is you're making sure that you have really understood what the other person meant. This is very, very important in a conversation. So if you practice all these points initially, you have covered the majority of the difficult steps. Rest everything will come one by one when you practice. Engage in active listening is a very important topic which we saw in detail. Rest of the topics we will just brush through. Second one is utilizing a variety of resources. Practice regularly and strategically. Leverage technology. So what do I mean by this? Take maximum advantage of the technology, that is audio recording, video recording, YouTube videos, podcasting, online group chats, online resources like websites, playing an online game, participating in quizzes, writing in forum, reading an online book, listening to audiobooks. So all these comes under the category of leveraging your technology. In this technology world, you have access to so many information for free. So leverage it. Next, we'll see the second pillar of English language, speaking. Third pillar of English language, writing. The fourth pillar, reading. Now we have completed the first point, master the 4 skills. Second point, build vocabulary and grammar knowledge. Third point, immerse yourself in the language. Fourth point, seek feedback and don't be afraid to make mistakes. In this video, we have covered the point 1, which is framework, in detail. Stay tuned for the second part, which is online resources. If you're interested in such videos, check out my channel Create to Amazart and please do click subscribe button. Meet you soon. Until then, bye.